So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Should be 3 points. Huh?
Oh, I don't know about that. Who for?
Hmm?
3 points for whom?
For you.
Oh,
Due to unfortunate circumstances, I missed Wednesday beating Reading 3-2 in January 1966. So I took Rachel along a few years ago to make up for it, and we lost 6-0. Yeah. So it's of course entirely made up for it, isn't it?
yes, of course. Jonathan's struggling to get him. Well, I think he can hear us, but we can't.
can you see me?
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Oh, hang on.
We don't want to discuss Coventry anyway, do we?
Come and help me, can you now?
It looks like he's been sent to Coventry.
I am tonight. I'm seeking assistance from my wife.
What's happened?
You've probably not told it to use the.
Morning, Chris.
Morning, John. Morning, everyone.
There we are.
Hey,
Hey.
we're there. So, good morning, everybody.
Morning, Keith. Morning,
Thank you.
Keith. Morning, Keith.
As I've just mentioned to someone, I am going to be leaving early. So, Ian, I'll put you in charge in the second half.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And right, shall we get cracking straight away? Right. We'll start off with John, who's of the group.
Not a lot really. Where's he gone? I had a very pleasant conversation with Brian the Tie yesterday. I was beginning to get a bit worried about him. I'd tried him a couple of times, and yeah, as I've said before, people I'd be at settee when I phoned them. But Brian was in good form, in good health, and went to beautiful downtown Bramall Lane, as he said, to watch the Coventry game. Was so bored with it that he went for a pea and a pie 50 minutes before half time. And when he got back, his mate said, "There's missing out. Can he have some of your chips?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about
so
right.
I talked to Sue, Stuart's wife. You know, Stuart, who passed away best part of a year ago now, and
Yeah.
she was doing well. She was okay. I'd been to 2 Christmas fairs this weekend. I managed to avoid the third one, which was possibly the best. I don't know, but at the first one at Gleadless, a good old-fashioned Christmas fair with about 14 85-year-old women manning the stalls, selling all sorts of rubbish, which I of course bought. And I bought a Cliff Richard autobiography, only on the basis that Sue, Stuart's wife, was a massive Cliff Richard fan. So
Right.
I made sure it was clean and in good condition, and she's looking forward to that. How sad. But anyway, oh yeah, I won the Christmas hamper, which made me extremely popular. It's the first time people had ever seen me. But these things happen, don't they? You go into a pub, you take part in a raffle, you win the meat raffle, and you've not been here for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
happened.
that's about it from me. Any news about Big Paul?
No updates on Big Paul, I'm afraid. But Dave the Beard has just given us some good news about his son who's coming home,
Good.
Okay.
Good.
possibly.
Yeah, either today or tomorrow, we understand.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Very
How are
good.
you feeling, Doug? Sorry, mate. I'm just saying, how is Doug feeling?
I'm okay, no problem.
Good
You're
man.
looking good.
Good to hear.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
looking like a mature Steve McQueen.
Where's he left his bike?
I mean the actor, not the designer. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Peter's managed to get himself in as well.
Right, morning.
Morning.
Morning. Morning.
Right. We'll blast straight on then with Dave's news of the week.
News of the week.
News of the
News of the
week.
News of the week.
I'll start with Formula One this week. Lewis Hamilton celebrated back-to-back wins after he stormed to victory at the Qatar Grand Prix and moved to within 8 points of championship leader Max Verstappen. Just 2 races left in Saudi, followed by what could be the title decider in Abu Dhabi. Verstappen did not receive sanctions following the incidents at the Brazilian Grand Prix, but was given a 5-place grid penalty for not slowing sufficiently under double wave yellow flags. So he started in 7th on the grid from 2nd and finished 25 seconds behind Hamilton, who started in pole. Verstappen did secure an additional championship point, though, after setting the fastest lap on the final lap. So will it make all the difference? Boxing? Sorry, I meant football. What looked like being a titanic battle between Arteta and Klopp on the Anfield touchline was in the end well marshalled by the 4th official. The fight ended tamely in a draw when the match referee awarded a yellow card to both managers. On the field, Liverpool beat Arsenal, Chelsea won at Leicester and stayed top by 4 points from Liverpool in 2nd. Home wins for new managers Dean Smith at Norwich and Steve Gerrard as Villa beat Brighton. Elsewhere, Man City beat Everton, Spurs beat Dirty you-know-who, and Wolves beat West Ham. Newcastle drew with Brentford, and it was the same scoreline in the match between Burnley and Palace, 3-3. Leicester one result, though. The humiliating defeat for Man U at Watford by 4 goals to 1 saw Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being sacked by United.
Can I just say Ian's looking a lot better today?
Yeah, he is. And isn't it Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now?
Yeah,
Sorry, Dave. Apologies.
Yeah. Maguire did his best to lose him his job, didn't he?
Yeah.
2 bookings in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Woeful.
Did anybody, has anybody seen that picture that I think it's on the Sporting Memories one?
I put it on, Keith.
Where Harry Maguire's got a 1-match suspension for the Chelsea game. And Chelsea are appealing against it.
There you go.
The Premier League have announced a new 6-year deal with NBC Sports in the States, worth nearly $2 billion. Gives them the rights to show all 380 matches a season across the whole states until 2028.
Blimey.
In the Championship, Fulham beat Barnsley to go a point clear of Bournemouth, who after being 2-1 up at Derby, eventually lost 3-2. There's then an 8-point gap to West Brom, who lost at Huddersfield, while Stoke moved up to 4th after beating Peterborough, and Coventry dropped to 5th after a draw with Sheffield United.
Should we talk about that?
Come on, Keith. Let's hear it. Yes, let's hear it.
Well, I mean, the first half was lamentable, with, I think, 1 shot on target, and that came from Coventry, forcing our keeper to make a decent save. The second half, first 20 minutes, Coventry were on top and had 1 or 2 good situations, and had one of their players dive with what he did. I think they would have got a penalty, but the way he did it, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
He dived too late. That was the trouble. If he'd gone down on the first tackle, he would have been all right. He'd have got a penalty, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Peter called him a sky blue diver, didn't he?
Yeah.
High diver because of Matty Godden in the Fulham game or the game the other day, and similar situation. Yes.
Yeah. So, but then after that, United finally woke up and really should have won the game with the chances that we had. David McGoldrick in particular missing 2
No,
glorious
he
chances.
didn't. What? That's amazingly surprising, Keith.
Yeah, he keeps missing them.
A man who's
Bless him.
missed 1,000 goals.
Yeah.
My God.
And then just to rub salt into the wounds, Simon Moore made a terrific save where he had to readjust himself to actually keep it out. And then right at the death, Kyle McFadzean, who's a mad Unitedite himself,
Together.
made the sort of block that they should make Ben Davies before every match and say, this is what you do to defend your goal. He just threw himself at the ball and blocked it. Whereas, Ben Davies in particular seems to turn his back when people are shooting at him rather than risking getting hurt.
He'll be gone soon, Keith, so don't worry.
Yeah, probably.
He will.
I'll tell you what was nice watching the game on telly was to see the applause that the United supporters gave Simon Moore. When players are always booed, but he got generous applause. I thought that was really nice.
He did,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, he got them when he went out at half time, and he got them again at the end of the match.
Yeah.
That's good. But that was it, 0-0. Our manager said he was happy to get a clean sheet.
Like what you said, Timothy.
It was quite difficult.
Didn't he also say that he's trying at the moment to get 100% out of the players? Which has drawn quite a lot of comment in the media that if that's the case, the club has no chance. It's doomed. If you can't go out and give 100%, I don't know where that's going.
Right, I'm going to do an Arsene Wenger on that one and say I didn't see or hear it.
Right,
So,
I have.
I was sat in the room when he was doing the press conference, but I
Nodded off.
couldn't tell what he was saying.
Does he make more sense when you're hearing him like you have, Keith, or whether you see him on a television? Because I have yet to understand anything he's ever said.
I couldn't.
And I'm listening. I'm really listening as well.
Yeah, no. I was in the room, but I couldn't tell what he was saying.
No.
Maybe it was too far away. But I spoke to James Shield about it afterwards.
Yeah.
And James said he doesn't have any trouble now because he's actually got used to the guy's voice. So and his pronunciation. So it's just something.
Talking of pronunciation, did anybody see that where they were talking to, I forget what it was now, but they were talking about the ex-England manager, Winter Walterbottom. Perfectly true. They were talking about how many gains in, I think it was a programme about Arsene Wenger, talking about how many matches they've done. And they said, they not played as many as Winter Walterbottom. I thought they were brilliant. And nobody corrected it. Brilliant. That's a Coleman ball, that one.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. The guy that enthralls me is the Dirty Leeds manager. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Why does he crouch? Is he praying on the touchline? And then why does he learn at least hello and goodbye in English? Something that's a contribution.
He's only been there about 3 years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the problems you have is with pronunciation of players' names by the press and by people on television. And we've got a couple of players, Gyökeres and Hamer, and they are ritualistically anglicised into Hamer and Jokeres, as if nobody's ever heard of an umlaut on the top of an O. And you'd have thought, it just out of respect for your own players, that there would be some attempt to get some correct phonetic pronunciation, but unfortunately, that's not the case in Coventry.
Just call him Kevin.
Yeah, or Steve.
Just use Kevin.
Just think how Jürgen Klopp feels in Liverpool.
That's right. Yeah.
The only
Jürgen.
Shut them scousers up, Keith.
All right, Jürgen, lad. All right.
Hey, who knitted you?
All right, Kloppy.
Shut up.
Oh, we have bored us for the last half hour. Come on, let's get some real football on. Get on with it.
The other thing of note is United reopened the media lounge, which meant bacon sandwiches before the game because it was an early kickoff, pies at half time, and getting to meet all the people coming through, which included Steve Grizovic. And I got a photo with Steve and sent it to Jonathan just to make him jealous.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Famous goal scorer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They serve the players first when they get those bacon rolls out.
But I mentioned to Steve Grizovic who I was sending it to, and he knew John, or knew of John at least, and a couple of the Coventry guys said, "Oh yeah, we know him." So famous,
He's on the
famous
fiddle.
all over the world.
But I said to Keith, I said, did Oggy tell you about how he nearly committed a terrible howler in the quarter-final against Sheffield United back in '98, I think it was, at Highfield Road, and he cleared the ball and it hit a United player, as far as I remember.
Kachira.
And he only just managed to get back and clear the ball. Otherwise, it'd have been a terrible own goal.
Peter,
Right.
He ran 50 yards. He ran 50 yards.
He did run half the length.
He ran. I was there with my brother. I'm sure Keith was there. And he ran and pushed Kachiro a little wide of the goal.
Yeah.
And eventually got it out somewhere. I think it went for a corner. It was an amazing instant of an amazing cup tie.
Yeah,
Peter,
it was.
Peter, do you think Salah's goal was the better one, or Jota's? You know.
Oh, difficult to say. I thought Mane's was quite good.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just going to mute you two.
Yeah, good idea.
Scouse them out.
Yeah. Right.
How much money have you spent?
Yeah, but we're averaging one under three goals a game for the whole season.
That's what, 133 goals a game. Yeah.
That's got rid of them.
To the recording now.
Right, Dave.
Recording. End of recording.
Monday.
Are you sure we can't have some more front menu at United?
You're going to talk about Kevin Schofield?
Another good, Dave.
Reading have been docked to 6 points and 6 points suspended after incurring losses of 57.8 million between 2017 and 21.
They'll be right after
While
tonight.
Derby have been docked another 9 points. In the Championship next year, there's going to be a break between November 13th to December 9th for the World Cup in Qatar. League 1 and 2 clubs will carry on as normal unless they have players involved in the World Cup. In the first division,
We'll be all right then.
Sorry, John. But at least it ended well. Rotherham moved to within 1 point of Plymouth, who lost at Charlton after the Millers beat Cambridge at the New York Stadium. Sheffield Wednesday, meanwhile, despite a valiant attempt to throw away a 3-goal lead, hung on to win 3-2 and moved up to 7th. Doncaster drew with Lincoln.
They're losing the grip Wednesday. Yeah. The old Wednesday side had lost 4-3. Well, what's going on?
Can't count on them, can you, Joe? You just can't count on them.
Yeah, you can't. I was sitting back thinking, when's the Accrington's third going in? Let alone
Nearly
the
did
fourth.
go as well. Nearly did.
Yeah.
Free kick.
Yeah. Overall, a decent win for the lads. Not the way they did it, but a decent win for the lads.
Yeah.
In the second division, Forest Green still lead the way from Exeter and Port Vale. And in the Vanarama National League, Chesterfield lead from Boreham Wood in second, Grimsby in third, with all 3 teams winning.
Big game at the weekend. Big game at the weekend, Dave.
Mm.
The Wood take on Grimsby.
Ooh, the Wood and a Haddock.
The Wood and the Haddock. Scott Bowden scored twice, ex-Chesterfield, for Boreham Wood at the weekend. Leading goal scorer.
Mm.
It's a good Jota goal, that, wasn't it, Peter? Manage wasn't bad either. Real football.
Mute him again.
I'm trying.
Not sure about that.
In Scotland, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst agreed to become the new Rangers manager, while in Women's Super League, Arsenal lead the way and remain unbeaten after beating Man U, while Chelsea remain second after beating Birmingham. In the Champions League, Chelsea and Arsenal both won their midweek league Champions League group matches. In the FA Cup, the FA have ordered Exeter's cup tie with Bradford to be replayed after they brought on a 6th substitute at the start of extra time before they won 3-0. I think they just replayed.
Yeah, what do people think about that?
I think the referee should be taken to task slightly.
And the 4th official, surely.
Surely they some sort of penalty must be paid by the officials.
Well, Trevor, expert view on this one.
Well, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, in the olden days, I don't know whether it still happens, but with every cup tie appointment, you got a thick book of rules for the competition. And you had to read those and make sure that you knew exactly what was happening. Now, it seems to me that getting a 6th substitute on would ring alarm bells with anybody and would make them think at least twice before they allowed that to happen. So we shall never know, shall we, if the officials don't referee the next match or the linesmen don't run the line for the next match. They seem to keep fairly quiet on that. As far as Bradford go, fancy having to go all that way to replay a match. Surely it ought to have been either at Bradford or on a neutral ground. Somewhere between the two. You know, I just can't understand I can't understand the thought behind it. The Bradford were out of the cup before this substitution, and now they're in the cup, but having to pay a lot of money to actually replay it and possibly be out of the cup again.
Will they be receiving any compensation, Bradford?
Sorry.
Will Bradford City get any compensation from the FA for having to replay the game and for their expenses and costs, do you think?
I doubt it.
Morally, they ought to, but we know they probably won't. Yeah.
The way it used to work was that in a cup tie, both teams shared the gate receipts after the away team's expenses have been taken away. So there's a possibility that they put 2 lots of expenses in. But with the attendance at the matches, they're hardly going to make any money out of it, are they?
No.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that happens anymore.
No. I don't know, but certainly there's Bradford seem to be the big losers to me.
I mean, from what I've read about it, there's two things that's led to it. Last season, they were allowed to use a sixth substitute in extra time. So I think
that's true.
That's what's caused it. But apparently, the match officials told Exeter that they could. So they'd obviously not got themselves pulled up. What seems slightly bizarre is that they told Exeter they couldn't. So, they told Exeter they could, but they told Bradford they couldn't. I mean, it's just...
Yeah. Was the Bradford sixth substitute after the Exeter sixth one? Had they realised the mistake?
Probably, because the Exeter one came on right at the start of extra time.
Okay, yeah.
0-0.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as hard as it might have seemed on Exeter, I think they should have been expelled from the competition and the match given to Bradford.
Yeah, I suppose the only problem with that is they would then say, well, the match officials allowed us to do it.
Yeah.
You know, so again, it's a difficult one, but I think it could have been handled better.
Yes.
Jonathan, excuse me. John, do you remember the World Cup final 2007 in Barbados when the officials didn't know the rules? Do you remember that?
What happened?
Well, without going into great detail, it was a Duckworth Lewis game.
Yeah.
So when it went dark, obviously Australia had won, but the officials somehow got in their head that they had to complete all the overs, so they bowled the overs in pitch darkness. And Australia won again. At the end of the game, the match officials were banned for a year and fined, I think it was over £10,000.
Wow,
really?
So it was because it was an extreme case of officials not knowing the rules.
Yeah.
When the rules were known by everybody else in the crowd.
Well, that's the sort of thing. People, when there are people in the crowd, when there are experts there in the commentary box and so forth, it's incredible that there is no access means to that sort of expert knowledge in a situation like that.
Yeah,
that's indeed the other day.
Yeah, it's a pretty extreme example.
Yeah. Our local league, our Sunday league, unfortunately, we've had to make a decision in a similar vein. A team brought on a substitute for the last 20 minutes when they were winning 2-1 and they won the game 2-1. But it turned out that the player wasn't listed on the team sheet. He was registered, okay, but he wasn't on the team sheet.
Yeah.
So they lost, made a complaint, and we've got a specific league rule that says if a player is ineligible in any way, then his team is expelled from the competition.
Yeah, forfeits the game.
Yeah.
So that we didn't particularly want to do it because, you know, it's hard on the team, but the
rules is rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, let's go back to Dave's news of the week.
Oh, is Dave still here?
Yeah. Golf Open champion Colin Morikawa wins season-ending DP World Tour Championship after carding a final round of 66 to finish 17 under par and 3 shots clear of Matt Fitzpatrick. And overnight leader Rory McIlroy carded a final round of 74 as he slipped out of contention. Nice win though. Purse of £2.2 million coming his way. For the winner.
It's the first time an American's won the European Tour, isn't it?
Is it?
Wow.
Tennis.
It wouldn't have been allowed under the rules, apparently. Sorry, Dave.
Sorry, Paul.
No, sir.
Tennis. Despite having lost 5 games in a row to Daniel Medvedev, Alexander Zverev pronunciation, sorry.
Kevin.
Defending champion in straight sets, 6-4, 6-4, to lift his second ATP Finals title. In the doubles, Britain's Joe Salisbury and American Rajiv Ram were beaten by the French pair, again in straight sets, 6-4, 7-6, 7-0 on a tie break. For the Australian Open, a full house will be allowed in Melbourne following the easing of COVID restrictions in the state of Victoria. Racing, Henry de Bromhead's a plus Tard won the big race at Haydock on Saturday, the Betfair Chase. Ridden by Rachel Blackmore, A plus Tard stuck on to a 22-length victory and is now 72 favourite for March's Cheltenham Gold Cup. Proper boxing now. Unbeaten American Terence Crawford beat Sean Porter by a technical knockout in the 10th round to make a successful defence of his WBO World Welterweight title in Las Vegas. Following his defeat, Porter announced his retirement. Rugby Union. There were close wins for England and Wales in the autumn internationals. A clean sweep for England in the Autumn Nations series was completed in dramatic circumstances when Marcus Smith landed a last-minute penalty to beat the world champions South Africa by 27 points to 26.
And he had a 2.5-minute delay standing there thinking about it before he was allowed to take the kick. Nerves.
Could you watch those matches anywhere else other than Amazon Prime?
Now, you can get highlights streamed on YouTube. I had 15 minutes highlights, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah. Ireland are on BBC or Channel 4.
Right. Okay. Because apparently it was an amazing game, the England game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. As was the ladies, the Red Roses.
Chris will be watching that. Chris, wake up. Wake up, Chris.
I was out plaiting sawdust at the time, and I thought that was a better use of my time. But each to his own. For her. For her.
Wales beat Australia by 29 points to 28 in another dramatic finish. Despite having a man sent off, Australia appeared to have won the match when Beale kicked a penalty with 3 minutes left. However, Wales stole it with the last kick of the game, Reece Priestland kicking a penalty. In the other internationals, there was a great win for France, 40 points to 25 against New Zealand. Scotland beat Japan and Ireland beat Argentina. And going on to England's women's team, they rubbed their position as the #1 women's team in the world by scoring 15 tries as they thrashed the US 89 points to 0. The win made it 4 from 4 in the autumn matches and extended their winning run to 18 matches. They scored 239 points in the 4 games. England now appear to be the team to beat in next year's World Cup in New Zealand.
You don't say.
You're right.
Rugby League.
He's not doing his job.
Wigan.
I think he's still muted, isn't
he? He looks like it. Yeah, he is. You muted him. Just at a vital moment.
And New Zealand will take part in next year's delay. With the competition starting on the 15th of October 2022. Darts, world champion Gerwyn Price beat Peter White 16-8 to regain and win his 3rd Grand Slam of darts title. Right on his way to the final, had beaten Fallon Sherrock 16-13 in the quarter-final. Fallon had become the first woman to reach the quarter-final of a PDC major ranking tournament. Cricket, a capacity crowd of 100,000 will be allowed at the moment to watch the Boxing Day Ashes Test at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. And on the subject of the Ashes, the Australian captain Tim Payne was forced to resign after it emerged that he had sent explicit pictures and texts to a co-worker.
All attempts by the Australians to get to the moral high ground do appear now to be on the downward slope. You couldn't write this, could you? You just couldn't write this as a fiction.
Yeah.
They put a guy in for his family values, his stability, and his honesty, and he's had to resign in tears again because everything's gone pear-shaped.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic. It's a brilliant story. It's brilliant.
I think all Australian cricket captains are told that when they resign, they have to cry.
I must have misheard it because I thought he
Lord.
should have his bails to a friend.
It did include his bails, actually. It amongst other things.
And his middle stump.
Yeah, they all were there. Yeah, cap and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, couldn't make it.
Don't worry, there'll be an inquiry.
Wait.
Exonerated.
Pardon?
There will be an inquiry, and he will eventually be exonerated.
Yes. And there will have been no sandpaper involved at all in this latest incident.
And one of the other people will have known about it.
Nobody. And it's a very nice. Can I be the first person on here to welcome back Steve Smith as captain?
Oh, no chance.
It might happen.
You say that now. He's the best candidate they've got.
Well, I think Cummins will be.
He's not fit. He's not fit, and they won't get through the Test series. So
They'll not play all the games, will they?
No. So then, who's the vice captain? So you're into Thankfully, they're in the mire, and I do hope they bring Smith back because it will allow me to vent further ridiculous amount of vile on a vile man, which will do me no good, but it'll probably make me feel slightly better.
Yeah.
Keith, I think you should review your mute policy. Like right now.
Probably we shouldn't be allowed to use the
Hang
word
on.
Smith.
We're less than a minute.
I'll just try and read this last line. England, Scotland and Ireland have been named as co-hosts of the 2030 ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
Whoa,
Away.
2030. I'm 84. How do I get any interest in that?
Right, we'll see you in 5.
Brilliant, lads. Brilliant.